Hey, my name is Michelle Nowell. Today I'm going to be doing a speech on foster care. And I chose to do foster care as my topic because I feel like a lot of children who are put in foster care for whatever the reason may be, whether their parents just can't take care of them, false accusations, maybe their parents are on drugs. I just feel like a lot of times they are failed by the system in different ways. There are a lot of different ways they could be failed. And one of my really big things is I think the workers that work with foster care kids and deal with foster care and help get them in foster homes and group homes, I feel like they should actually like their job and want to help the kids. If they don't want to help the kids, then they're not really doing any good. Because these kids, this is going to be one of the hardest times in their life. They need as much help and assurance as they can get from whoever it may be. I feel like there is no reason the workers in foster care shouldn't want to help these kids or why they would want to make their life worse or anything like that. I feel like at that point, you're really just there for the money and you shouldn't be working in that kind of job anyway. My purpose today is to show the different ways foster care could be bad. I know it could be a good, positive thing, but at the same time, it has affected a lot of kids over the years in a pretty terrible way, believe it or not. One of my first points is how the system does things or handles things. My second one is how things could change or how the system could be improved to be better for the children. My third one is to show some of the higher risk of a bad outcome in life and how maybe if they age out of the system, how it really affects them in life and doesn't help, prepare them for the real world or to really become an adult. They're really not ready for the real world. So back to my first point, which was how the system does things or handles things. So one thing that I feel like is not right or not handled right is teenagers, once they get to a certain age, they age out of the system, but they don't have the proper support. They're kind of just put out on their own, and they're like, here you go, here's the real world, but they really don't have no help or anything, and they're just kind of out there and having to figure it out on their own. And Lord knows, I don't know about you, but when I first moved out on my own, it was rough. There was things I had to learn. I had to learn to manage my money. I had to learn what bills were. So it's just a really big, huge adjustment that I feel like anyone going through that in life and that big adjustments that should have a really big support system. So my second point to go along with that is when doing my research, I realized that all over the United States, foster care systems are in need of more foster parents who are willing to take in teenagers. Some may not want teenagers because they don't get to spend a whole lot of time with them, or they think they're bad, they can't change their ways, but they need people to love them just like younger foster kids do. So I feel like, you kind of judge because they're a teenager, but at the same time, they're just a teenager. They can't help they're in foster care. It's not their fault. So my second point was things that could be changed to make the system better. I feel like drugs and alcohol are a huge thing, maybe even for underage kids that are in foster care. I feel like maybe they should try and handle that better or make it to where they don't have as easy of access to things like drugs and alcohol. Because, once they start hanging out with friends that do stuff like that, they're not really going to care about nothing you have to say. Another thing to go along with that is I really just feel like a really huge thing is The workers should not just be there for the money. I can't say that enough. They should actually want to do their job. Then my third point was some of the higher risks of a bad outcome in life when being in foster care or aging out. Some things to go along with that are mental health issues, homelessness, poverty. They don't really understand how the world works, so how are they going to make it? Then my two visual aids are, I have one, I don't know how good you can see that, but it kind of states facts about foster care and some things, some percentages and stuff, what they deal with and how many were failed during a certain time, things like that. Then I have, I'm not sure if I can see the numbers. I might have to attach a picture, but it's a graph that shows the number of foster kids put in foster care over the United States by each year. Like the most recent one I could find was 2020, and it's 216,838. I don't know about you, but that is a lots of kids. So overall, I just want to say, if you don't like kids or you don't want to help these kids in these hard situations, then working in foster care is just not for you. You need to find something else you want to do. So some of my resources consist of Resvon Foundation, kvc.org, fosterclub.com, What to Become, which is a blog, Mashable.com, and Social Work Today. So, once again, I just want to say, if you're going to work in foster care, just really try and help those kids. Don't try and put them down in any way or anything like that. So overall, out of my whole speech, I just want you to remember these kids are important.